I get a lot of support from females as well. So I would say it's 90% male, 16 to 30, usually younger guys, but all the older guys know who I am as well. It's pretty well spread across the world. It's pretty international. I get letters and support from Mongolia and Thailand and Singapore and Australia and absolutely everywhere, not just the Western world. And then there's a huge contingent also of females who support me. Traditionally, Republican females, or I've had a lot of letters, and when I say a lot, I mean hundreds of letters from women in Tennessee or Kentucky or Alabama who are raising their sons without a father, and they say that I help them teach their boys how to be men. Lots of women come up and ask for photos. Lots of the beautiful Instagram girls, all the guys are DMing or chasing me. So it's quite a diverse audience that I have, but primarily because I think I make young men feel motivated. Those are the ones who are most engaged with my content, 16 to 30-year-old males all around the world.
So do you think obviously, I don't think any of them would be liberals. Is that fair to say? A very small percentage would be liberals.
Correct.
Okay. And a big percentage of them would be conservatives, libertarians, driven, moneymakers, competitive business owners, sales. Some of them would be that, right? Yep. Okay. So this to part with what some people say about you. DeSantis we already covered, so we can skip DeSantis because you were very direct with DeSantis.
My friend Ron.
Right, that's right. Your friend Ron, you're going to be his CMO to help him with his campaign for 2020, which was very kind of you. Dave Portnoy.
I've spoken to him once on a podcast. And I said women couldn't drive. And the face of horror he pulled. I don't know if he was because he was afraid of his audience. And he was like, look, I love women drivers.
Is this the one about the IQ stuff that you guys talked about?
We did a podcast once. I said women couldn't drive. And he pulled this fake face of horror because I guess he's afraid of being canceled.
Right. It was on a Zoom. There was a girl on it, another guy.
It says everything you need to know about Dave. I don't know much about Dave. I don't know. I see videos of him jumping up and down about sports teams. And he's 47 with no children and smokes weed. That's what I know. He dislikes me. Oh, I know that a lot of people have problems with me, and I completely understand why.
Specific to conservative stuff.
Well, the conservatives that have a problem with me see me as extreme, and they see me as degrading to the society, not understanding that in every single contingent and every single battalion, you need to have people who do different roles and do different things. I may be extreme, right? I may be seen as a rebel or an outlaw, or I may have extreme views or do extreme things. But I am extremely important in the battle against liberalism and the insanity and the communism of the world today. I may do a different job. Yeah, a sniper does something different than an assault troop, but we're all necessary. So they think that I'm not on their side because I don't live the same as them. But let's be honest, and I want to state this without arrogance. None of these people who were sitting at home, white picket fence, perfect upbringing, never had any of the terrible life I had, because I had a very hard life, never had any of the struggle I had, never had any of these things, who were criticizing me for my views and things I've done. None of those people moved the needle like I did. I was a cultural force. And I was a cultural force for the good guys. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, but soldiers are not perfect. Warriors are not perfect. The special forces operators, every single Navy SEAL you can find has put a bullet in a kid's head, but he's doing it for his country. You can't be a good warrior if you're a perfect person. If I had no bad history, never swore, didn't know any women, and I sat at home and a white picket fence and I was completely legit and I'd done everything by the book, I wouldn't have the impact I have. The reason I can speak the way I speak is because I understand the struggles of young men, because I grew up in the poorest possible socioeconomic area in the UK. My finger came off, I was stabbed. I made money an illegitimate way. I managed to clean myself up, get up out the ghetto, clean things up, teach men how to be strong, how to be resilient. I have a life story. So these people see me as their enemy for some reason, not understanding that all of those elements that they don't like are the reason I am the force I am. If I had a perfect, easy little life, I've had it all the time from these conservatives. They're a pastor and they live in Nebraska. And they married their first love, and they have a white picket fence, and they go to church every Sunday. Great, good for you. Guess what? Most men in the world don't care what you say because there's no light without dark, and I have enough dark to bring the light. So you have to stop seeing me as your enemy because I don't live the same life you do. That's the reason I have the impact I have. I'm not going to apologize for being me. I'm not going to apologize for the circumstances I was born in either.